Okay, balik po tayo dito. Ito, we're back to some interesting, very interesting questions here that I'd like to be able to read to you because sometimes there are people who love EDSA 1 and there are some people who say, no, that's just the urban people that wanted that except for maybe a little bit in Cebu and Davao. Ito, itong itanong, mabasa ko kaya ito tanong na ito. Okay, I have to ask the office to please put on that question. Well, let me answer the first part of it, sir. Okay, ito. Tanong ng 0935-583-5557, si Rafi de los Santos of Cotabato. Ang EDSA po noong panahong yon, hindi lahat ng tao ay gustong patalsikin si Marcos. Osyoso ang iba doon at marami ang binayaran. Ang pinalit nila, okay ba? Ngayon, may plano silang patalsikin na naman si Duterte. 15 presidents na ang dumaan sa Pilipinas, nagtapos sa Harvard at sa West Point. Matalino, di ba? Nagpigil ba nila ang shabu sa bilibid? So this is where...
Teka muna, meron ba tayo naging presidente taga-Harvard?
Aba, meron na.
Meaning, irresponsible itong tanong, hindi based on reality.
Oh.
Ang totoo niya, kung basahin yung kay Tibong Mijares, sino nagbenta ng drugs sa Arellano High School? Doña Josefa Edralin Marcos. Kaya
Pero
kailangan...
hindi naman nagkiklaim si Marcos na Harvard siya.
No, I mean, tungkol doon sa shabu, yung nanay niya nagbebenta sa Arellano. Yun namang Harvard, umpisahin mo kay Quezon, wala. In other words, hindi fact-based ang tanong eh. Prejudice-based. Kung nagbayaran sa EDSA, dapat nakakolekta ako. Kaya gusto ko malaman kung sino nagbabayad.
Baka naman dahil sa you are timid and you don't want to grow forward and grab yourself.
Wala. Talagang torpet, mahiyain. In other words, not to be unkind to the families who were ready to lay down their lives. That was the reality.
Na pinag-uusapan niya is are the presidents, not the families who were ready to lay down.
Pero pinipintasan at bayaran daw kami.
Well, of course, there are always exceptions to the rule. No, in terms of bayaran, but in other words, if you can afford to generalize, you will have to say that majority of them were medyo bayaran. The exceptions would be
EDSA 86.
EDSA 86?
Bayaran kami?
No. Except EDSA because basically you were not professional politicians.
Wala. People power yun eh. Hindi partisan power or American power. The only foreign power that intervened doon, ang Panginoon.
Okay.
Which is always welcome to me. A foreign power from heaven, okay yun.
Ako'y tatanong ko nga sa iyo, simply, again, kung gusto mo ng factual, ito. Sino nagpaalis kay Marcos sa Malacanang?
To me, Panginoon at tao.
To generalize, what were the specific things that caused Marcos to hightail it out of Malacanang?
Well, it was because of his misbehavior. 1968 pa lang, nagkaroon na ng William Saunders, si Imelda naman, Jane Ryan account in 1968 pa lang.
I don't question that. But I think what sent him out of Malacanang scurrying were the persuasive flights of the F-4 of the U.S. Air Force that sent rockets into Malacanang.
1989 yun, yung persuasion flights. Pero yung 1986, there was no plane flying. 1989, no...
Iba yun.
Yeah, iba yun. Yun ang nagkaroon ng persuasion flights. Si George
not persuasion flights. In 1986, went it straight into Malacanang and fired some rockets there.
Yeah, ano yan? Yung grupo ni na William Sotelo, Hotchkiss.
So, ang sinasabi ko, it was not even the Philippine Air Force. It was out of Clark. By some years, that's the time when the Vice President had called Marcos to tell him, Mr. President, it's time to let go.
Sino tumawag?
Yung Vice President of the U.S.
No, si Senator Paul Laxalt. Siya ang tumawag noong 25th, kaya sinabi, time to cut clean and cut cleanly. And he said, I'm so very disappointed.
No, meron pang isang, ewan ko ba, nasisira na ang memorya ko. There was another call received aside from Lakshak, but basically he was told to go.
Yeah, pero
But he left only because he thought they were going to bring him to Poway.
yung pala Hawaii.
Yung pala, Hawaii.
No, pero Cory disagreed and she was sustained. Dahil kung nandun, baka naging madugo. And some people said na it should have been bloodless. Kaya walang natutunan daw na leksyon. Walang bloodshed. No?
Yeah. 0919-221-2562. Present ako sa lahat ng EDSA Revolution. In fairness to Atty. Sagisag, sa tingin ko, EDSA 1, walang bayaran kasi fed up na rin talaga ang mga tao kay Marcos. Kahit sinong president ilalagay doon, mawala lang si Marcos.
I agree that
Kasi have fun.
that was the sentiment ng entire families.
But when you get to that point and you say anybody else other than him, you're asking for trouble also.
Hindi naman.
Because anybody else might prove worse.
Well, it's always a risk. Dahil kamukha nga niyan, Trump sa Amerika, sa atin naman, the president we have, who I hope and pray will succeed. Dahil ang tagumpay ni Digong, tagumpay mo, tagumpay ko, tagumpay ng lahat. But he has to review na hindi siya perfecto. May mga mistakes in my view, pero may katigasan ng ulo yata eh.
I think the basic problem here is something which I've always, because of my own Christian background, I've been asked, what should one's attitude be towards a sitting president? If you're a Christian. And the principle that I use is what I call the Davidic principle. When Saul was king, he was a bad king. The one that was really anointed was David. And Saul tried to kill him several times. So much so that at one time, David crawled up to where Saul was sleeping in the camp and said, I just came here to let you know. If I wanted to harm you, I could. But his attitude was, and it's a strange attitude, I will not touch the Lord's anointed. And when Saul died in battle, he called the whole nation of Israel to mourn for him. In other words, prior to an election, do whatever you like in terms of who you want to choose. But once the outcome is determined, and nobody's complaining about the outcome of the last election, but once it is seated, the Word of God also tells us, it is He who establishes kings and heads of nations. Once He is there, He will serve God's purpose, even if I don't know what it is. But my attitude towards Him is, like David, I will not touch the Lord's anointed. Now, a lot of people will start questioning that about revolutions, about EDSA 1, about EDSA 2, and EDSA 3. You know very well EDSA 2 and EDSA 3 were maneuvered EDSAs. Di ba? Or at least that is what I seem to think you hold. So, the question is there that the removal, you see, the strength of a democracy is a peaceful transfer of power and not the removal of a president unless you follow the constitutional processes that allow you to file impeachments. In other words, if you file that process, nobody can complain. But if you don't, you are playing God. Now, you may have all the brightest ideas, you might have all of the greatest intentions, but what I'm trying to point out is this. Be a positive assistance. Help him. Pray for him. Lift him up before the presence of God, that God's grace may come upon him, that God might guide him. But let us not try to be mas papista kay El Papa. If you are coming at the president and your attitude is to be a moral savior and champion, you will end up wasting your effort. Because the change in a human heart is brought by the Lord.
Yeah, so we all hope and pray Digong will
Yeah.
succeed, no?
Well, you've
Pero-
said that. You've said that.
Yeah, pero number one, too many people have died. Number two, ang sama-sama ng traffic. It has gotten worse since June 30, 2016.
You know that
Dito, isa't kalahating oras. Before him, kalahating oras lang, matagal na.
Hindi naman. Nung panahon ni Arroyo, before Noynoy, grabe na traffic, don't forget it.
No, I can remember from Palanan to Club Filipino or ballroom dancing, 12 minutes.
Wow.
Pagka puro green ang lights. Ngayon, parang ibang planeta yung pagtawid sa Pasig
Let me tell
River.
you something. If they added any more streets, now, the population of cars in Metro Manila have been going up every year by leaps and bounds. Yung sinasabi mong panahon na yun, that's about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, sa ngayon, the population there is at least double.
Well, yun nga.
Ano gagawin mo?
Ang Pilipino, sobrang mahilig no? Pero yung the other, ano nga dyan, ang sale daw of vehicles next year, another 500,000. Saan mo ilalagay ang mga sasakyan na yan?
Yun na nga. Marami nga dyan mga local government units that have been planning na sabi nila, oy, kung wala kang garahe, hindi ka pwedeng bumili ng auto.
That's debatable kasi I can say dahil yung iba sabihin it's anti-poor, no? Ako walang problema. Misis ko nakapag-iwan ng garahe. Pero doon sa kalye namin, nakaparada sa kanan, nakaparada sa kaliwa, and some of the owners nga appropriated na the sidewalks. Pero yun ang problema nga, kung pagbabawal, kung walang garahe, parang ang dating anti-poor naman. So talagang a lot of things can be said.
You have to take a look. No? You might think it's anti-poor, but the anti-poor have no transportation on their own. They don't have their own cars. And therefore, they rely on public transport. Maybe the bigger question there is, you can do that, but at the same time, improve mass transit.
Well, tignan natin dahil
Di ba?
maybe 7 months lang itong panahon ni Arto Gade. Kaya dyan dapat siguro makitang kamay na bakal ni Digong kung paano mapaparating uli ako dito in half an hour.
Alam mo, the problem there is the MRT3 and LRT3 and all the rest of all these other things, wala tayong nakitang pagbabago sa pagpapatakbo. No, but I'll give you one example, no, sa tingin ko lang pwedeng gawin, no. Alam mo, nagkaroon ng minor improvement sa EDSA. 2-3 minutes. Why? Because naglalagay sila ngayon ng police to prevent any kind of bottlenecks from developing. So, hindi mabilis ang takbo, pero tumatakbo. Kanya lang, kung sasaksakan mo pa yan, taon-taon ng mga karsada, ay wala ka talagang magagawa. What we have to do is improve the mass transit right away, but they must do something about the people running the LRT and the MRT. Yung mga bagong bagon, not working. Wala kang madidinig sa kanila, no? Pag nire-report nila Jarius at saka ng ibang mga columnists yan, you don't hear anything from them.
So, anong plano ni Digong at ni Art
Yun
Tugade?
ang hindi ko alam.
Dahil,
Maybe if I see him, I'll ask him, but I have not seen him.
kasi hindi siya naghihirap dito dahil lagi nandun siya sa mga partner at kulasisi niya sa Davao. Hindi nararanasan yung hirap natin dito. And to me, kung yan ang pagbabasihan, so far, his presidency has been a total disaster. So he has to prove the traffic situation. Hirap na hirap ka, hirap na hirap ako. How many billions are lost daily because of the traffic problem? That's a figure I hear. Bilyones daw.
Yeah. That's what they say in terms of time, in terms of gasoline, in terms of depreciation, in terms of emission, and even for our environment. 0917-880-2364. Sa sobrang corruption na bumaon sa bayan natin, lumapit tayo sa Diyos dahil siya lang ang holy at perfect. Iniluluklok niya si Digong. Ipanalangin natin siya. Utos ito ng Diyos. Nagmumura siya, pero mahal niya ang Pilipinas. I have to say something, and I hope that it is not misunderstood by anybody. I know many people don't like some of the things that he does. But he comes across, to me, in my assessment, no, and I owe him no favors, and he owes me nothing. The man comes across as very sincere. He comes across as very well-intentioned. No, kasi dito ang problema dito, you can be right, but you can be wrong. In the sense that it's the wrong solution.
O paano tama ang pagmumura at maraming kulasisi? How do we justify that? Educating the young. Yan ba ang role model?
Pero yan, problemang yan, katulad ng problema ng pulis. Andiyan na ako, ano pa ang gusto mong gawin ko? Kilala ko na ganyan yan, hindi ko naman tinago sa tao.
Alam mo, dahil tayo, tinuruan ng magulang nating maging magalang. Bakit natin ito throw away yung tradition na yun? Huwag niyang sabihin pag probinsyano, bastos. Dahil that's unfair to our probinsyano. So are the most respectful people I know.
Poor people. You are talking about provincial poor. They are different from urban poor.
Pero ang provincial poor, mas magalang sa...
I know.
Yeah.
Yung urban poor, wala niyang ginawa kundi plap. Yan talaga ang maranasan mo. Magpunta ka dyan sa lahat ng squatter area. Sa lahat mga nagiinuman dyan.
That's what
Mura lahat yan.
Sa Palanan, yan ang mundo namin dun eh. Ang burol hanggang ngayon, 4 na burol sa kalye.
Yeah.
So, at natutulog sa sidewalk, natutulog sa tulay. Nag-improve ang buhay nila mula nung June. Yan ang dapat natin tutukan.
The question that I'm going to ask is, how quickly can the poverty problem in the Philippines be solved? And that is a $64 million or billion-dollar question, because it's never going to be easy. Our economic system is still not inclusive, in spite of all of what the other government officials might be saying. There's nothing inclusive about our system. And this is why, ika nga nila, finally somebody is saying, the trickle-down effect is only trickling upwards. It has reversed the flow of gravity. And the trickling down effect in terms of our own economy is not enough, and it's not sufficient to alter the fundamental poverty that is in this land. So that the question of the last 35-40% of our own population having an improved lifestyle requires some very revolutionary, and I mean that in a positive sense, economic policy that does not preserve a part of the economy as the preserve of a family or two. And when you have 2% of the families in the Philippines controlling such a large part of the population, you are going to have to step on so many toes to be able to make government policy inclusive. Now, and at the same time, you cannot prevent people who are in the upper 2% from fomenting problems. Do you think they want to give up their position easily? Alam mo, sabi nila, revolutions don't start from the bottom. They always start from the middle and the higher echelons. And this is why you have to be, I think, a little bit careful. 0919-221-2562, Attorney Sagisek. Hindi rin po ba kayo pabor sa administrasyon ni ERAP? Kasi mas maraming kulasisi si ERAP compared kay Digong.
Magbilangan tayo dahil yung report na natanggap ko kahapon may mas batang kulasisi si Digong Kay ERAP alam ng tao yon pero hindi.
Pero marami pa rin hindi alam.
No, pero itong kay Digong, hindi alam itong pinakita sa akin yung retrato kahapon na isang kaibigan ko. Aba, talagang nakakabighani.
Pero alam mo, sa akin, I don't want to look at that as a basis
No,
Pero, I know that
it violates the laws of God and man.
there's
If
no
you are
question.
number one and you don't follow the laws of God and man, the rest will be scofflaws also. Kung yung presidente, pwedeng
That's the power of example. But I still say, our tomorrows are up to God. Our todays are our accountability.
Well,
So let's live according to the best we know today. At let God take care of tomorrow. Because otherwise, we will never stop criticizing. But my director is already about ready to commit harakiri here. We're running out of time. Alam po ninyo, salamat sa inyong pagtangkilik sa gabi nito. Nawa nasayahan kayo ng konti dyan, maski na papano, sa discussion namin ni Atty. and former Senator Rene Sagisag tungkol sa EDSA, kabuluhan nito, at talagang kailangan siyasatin natin ng maigi. Ano ba ang inaasahan natin? At ano ba ang handa natin gawin? Those two things are always essential. Salamat po sa pagtangkilik ninyo dito sa amin. And we will see you next week. Thank you, Atty. Rene and
You're
Senator
welcome.
Sene, sa pag-uusap natin. God bless you and we'll see you next week.
This program is rated